Stranger Things 4 just dropped on Netflix, and I'm very tired. I've been up since 4 a.m. watching both episodes. Volume 2, obviously. Let's talk about it. Now, if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're a fan of the show, and you've been anticipating this for weeks on end. I know I have. I've been a day one fan since 2016. It was a show I was deeply looking forward to because of my love for Steven Spielberg, Stephen King, John Carpenter, and it looked like a show that was going to deliver on all those fronts. All of these years later, it certainly does. And I was highly anticipating Stranger Things 4. Real quick, I'll run down my thoughts on that. I thought it was great so far. Well worth the wait. We've been waiting well over 3 years at this point. I thought Season 3 was really good, really solid. Not as good as 1 or 2, in my opinion, but I think 4 ranks with the best. Now that brings us to Volume 2. Where does that stand? Real quick, I do want to shout out the show. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't been here before. We talk all about movies every Thursday. We run down the movie news, me and Gabe. So if you like what you see, make sure to check out all the other content on the channel. And let's get down to this review. Now, Netflix is trying this new release model. They did it with Ozark, and it worked really, really well. And it's almost like they're coming close to doing that week-to-week strategy. But what I love about what they did here was they kept us on the edge of our toes last month with the first volume, and it was amazing. It was such a great cliffhanger. And that leads us to Volume 2. What happens in Volume 2? You have everybody talking about it for weeks on end. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? We're all loving the new characters so far, where the story's going. Vecna, one of the greatest TV villains I've seen recently, played perfectly. Warner Brothers, what are you doing with Freddy Krueger? Because everybody else claims to have a stake in that. Everybody's giving their take on Freddy Krueger without Freddy Krueger. Vecna is like the new Freddy Krueger. It's perfectly done. But we've been waiting for weeks. We've been waiting for this to deliver. Netflix's new release model keeps that energy up, that anticipation up. I couldn't sleep. I got about 4 hours of sleep. I wanted to watch this, review it for you guys. This is a show that I'm so emotionally invested in. And with so many things on TV now, it's so hard to stay with a show because there's so many distractions. But Stranger Things has been here with me for a very long time. It's a show I've always fallen back on. It's a show that I'm so emotionally connected to. I've cried to it, laughed with it. I've seen these characters grow and these actors grow. First off, let me say one thing. These episode lengths, they are so long, but they work so well. I haven't seen a show do 2-hour-plus episodes and work where there's no filler. It's all killer. And everything in these episodes that close out the show is just killer. Killer motivation, character development. Everything that you look for in Stranger Things is here. One thing that I really liked in these remaining episodes, too, is Jonathan finally gets a bit more spotlight. He really didn't have much to do in the first half. He's kind of gone through this, stoner phase. So in this second batch of episodes, he gets a bit more to do with Will and Mike. Now, I will say this will be spoiler-free as well, so don't worry if you haven't watched it yet. I'm keeping things a little spoiler-free. But honestly, it's Sadie Sink that continues to be the MVP of this season. Every moment with her just made me emotional. I was sitting here crying like a baby for the past 4 hours. She is fantastic. Everything I've seen her in, she's been wonderful. She's such a great up-and-coming actress, but she nails this character of Max, and so does Eleven. Eleven this season has really delved into that superhero role that she was meant for, and that's what makes it so cool. She's a great match for Vecna, who is, again, terrifying and portrayed terrifying in this. Another thing I love is, come on, everybody's talking about him. Eddie Munson. Eddie Munson is such a great character, and he's kind of portrayed like this young Robert Downey Jr. or Brendan Fraser, like my mom pointed out. There's this energy to him, and the Duffer Brothers are so good at casting. From Maya Hawke, the way Steve's portrayed is kind of like this scoundrel Han Solo thing. The casting in the show is spectacular, and Season 4 just maintains that. These new characters work so well. You're so emotionally invested in them, especially Eddie, because he was introduced this season. He's been through so much. We've watched it all. We've learned from it. And he's kind of thrown the audience for a loop, too, the way the character development is. And the way this season just closes out is so emotional and it's so satisfying. They have their hand on the pulse of what the audience wants. You know, the Duffer Brothers are just, they knocked it out of the park. Also, speaking of Maya Hawke, don't think I didn't catch that Molly Ringwald reference. I had to do a double take for a little bit. But very, very cool. There's a ton of cool references within these remaining episodes, from Nightmare on Elm Street to The Thing. And I just love everything that they did to close things out. I gotta talk about Hop and Joyce. Such great chemistry. We know Winona Ryder always deliver, but her and David Harbour are just electric together in those prison scenes. And, I mean, everything with Hopper in every season kind of feels like it's out of a buddy movie or something, or like Romancing the Stone or Indiana Jones, and this is no different. I love how this show can take different elements of the 1980s and make it new again. From genre films to comedy films, whatever it is, Stranger Things knows how to revitalize that. And there's such great moments of heroic action and terrifying images of horror. Everything just blends together. And mind you, this is 4 hours split between 2 episodes. It all works. It all delivers, and it should, because we're so emotionally invested. The Duffer Brothers, they deliver it. They deliver all of it. I give a shout out to Argyle. That's a character I wasn't too big on at the beginning of the show. I get what the actor's going for. I understand it's like the Fast Times of Ridgemont High sort of vibe with this Surfer Boy pizza and all that. But really, in these last few episodes, I was loving this character. I was really loving Argyle and the eccentric jokes with it all. It really worked. The second half, again, this is what I love about Stranger Things, and I know some people, it's not for everybody because of how popular it is and how big it is, but they deliver. They deliver for the audience what you come here for 10 plus hours. You're looking for great character moments. You're looking for build-up. You're looking for a fantastic climax, and they deliver on all fronts. Also, every season, the editing and the musical choices are perfect. The Kate Bush stuff, I mean, it's in the show. It's there to stay. They do call back to something in the first season, which I loved, which by the end of this, I was in a river of my own tears. I'm so, like, connected to these characters. At this point, like, the creators can do anything, and I think I'll shed a tear. And I haven't done that since season 1 of Stranger Things. And even then, like, I can only think of shows like maybe the first season of True Detective that really touched me in this way. I can't wait to see what they do next season, from everything they did with Eleven, the things they set up with Will, Mike, Steve, Jonathan and Nancy, the whole will they, won't they. Everything works. I'm really interested to know what other fans think, what you guys think, because they do pull a lot of great tricks and a lot of things that can be a little controversial. But all in all, I loved this season. It ranks with the best of Stranger Things ever. It's up there with season 1 for me. It just kept getting better and better and better. It is great summer television. This is an event like no other on Netflix. If I had to rate it, I just watched it. I'm not going to. But as it stands, this is one of the best seasons of Stranger Things there is, and one of my favorite seasons of television. I could watch this all over again. So those are my thoughts on Stranger Things Volume 2, Season 4. I love this show, guys, but what do you think? What did everybody think of the show? I know there's a lot of crazy people who have been up all night watching this. I went to sleep. Woke up at 4 a.m., so I could get all of it done, shoot a review, get this out there, and I'm so glad that I stayed up, and I did. I'm all jacked up on Monster Energy drinks and low sleep, but it was well worth it, well worth the wait. Anyway, shoot down in the comments what your favorite scenes were. If you want a spoiler talk, maybe we'll do it on the main show. And we will see you there. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.